If you're a guy or girl, business owner, a Christian business owner, or you work within a business, you're winning in paper, you're making the money, you seem successful to other people, materialistically and all these different things. But deep inside, you're unfulfilled, you feel stuck, you hate your business or your job, whatever you're doing. You feel you've been sleeping spiritually, but for how many years? 5, 10, 20, 30 years. You don't know your purpose. What you're doing has no meaning. No, you don't have vision of where you want to go. And you know deep down that there's way more left in the tank. And you're ready to step into your purpose, your leadership, and impact people. Live a life of purpose, meaning, miracles, and you know that God is using you for good. This video is going to be exactly for you. If you know me, my name is Ben Petch, and I'm the founder, one of the founders of the 20 Protocol, which is a 90-day private transformation for men and women just like you that are experiencing everything I just mentioned and that are ready to wake up spiritually and become the men and women that God created them to be and impact and influence other people's lives. You know you have a message. You know you have a story. You know you have the gifts, the skills, and the talents, and that you're different and unique, but you're not doing that. This is why we created this protocol for you. Now, before I jump into what it's all about, I would love to share with you guys my personal story, and so you guys can get to know me real quick. I'll just share this thing real quick. So why do I speak about this stuff? Guys, I've come to understand people in general pretty well, not because of what I've read in books or movies or whatever, watch certain things, but because of personal life. In my personal life, I've been able to share that with the world and being able to connect with other entrepreneurs, leaders, and people that maybe feel in the same boat that I was. A lot of the people that follow me on Instagram, YouTube, they see, oh, this guy has everything together. He's doing this, he's doing that. He looks successful, he does this, or whatever it is, or the following, or the platform, and all these different things. But actually, before I even tell you, let me tell you, this is the Ben most people see right now. The impact, the social media, the endurance races, 100 milers, 15 milers, the Ironmans, the public speaking events, the billboards, the podcast, the impact that we have in other people's lives, the content, all these different things. This is what most people see. Which, I'm here to tell you, I wasn't born like this. Like, it's not that everything like this was just started out of nowhere. I'm able to do this stuff because of this kid right here. This was me before. And I used to hide a lot of things behind that smile. Maybe a lot of you guys can relate to. I was very suicidal. Those are things that, still struggle with. Way better now, obviously. Overcame them way better. But I almost ended my life in 2017. I was extremely soft mentally. A lot of things would get under my skin. My mom raised me, so I didn't have the greatest relationship with my dad, and I was mainly a mama's boy. And I was not in the best shape ever. I didn't do a lot of hard things. I was just living and existing. My confidence was there, but it was okay. And not a lot of self-esteem, not a lot of things going on. And I'm a regular kid. I came from Chile, small town, 80,000 people. And even when I was in the States and, I was building my business, building company, sales, recruiting, all these different things, I had a hard time connecting, a hard time feeling, a hard time receiving revelation. And to be honest, I was just flowing with the rest of the crowd. And it wasn't until I found my purpose that everything changed. And this is what catapulted everything that's here in this presentation right now, in this part of what we're doing right now, which I truly believe that you can live a meaningful, fulfilled, impactful life. And that's the purpose of life. And same way that I did, and same way that I've seen in hundreds of people's lives, and maybe you guys can relate, you get lost in the mundane, in the worldly, in this race, and you don't experience the true joy that comes from changing people's lives. So what happened to me? Well, I found my purpose when somebody asked me 2 questions that impacted everything. Number 1 was this: Ben, who are you? And number 2 was, Ben, why are you here? Once I was able to ponder and understand that I am a spiritual being having a physical experience, not a physical being having a physical experience, my life completely changed. Because I realized that I came to this earth for a specific reason and was divinely engineered for this specific time, and I needed to fulfill that, and that meant everything and should be priority. And it was kind of like waking up from the matrix, waking up from this sleep that I've been for so many years. And that's what catapulted me in my life to do all these different things and realize that there's a huge leader waiting to come out, that we have experiences and stories and things that we've gone through that we need to share with the world. So that's pretty much what happened to me, this kid, to what I am today. So we help men and women that find themselves stuck in their business, in their financial situation, or they're just doing the same thing over and over again and it's so mundane, but they know deep down that they're called to do something more, that they're called to have more impact, more influence, more fulfillment. And this is going to be exciting for you. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Now, before we jump into this, I want to share a few stories with you guys of people that we've been able to help and I've been able to see their transformation, which has been insane. His name is Kaden. He says, this has changed my life. This is the best course of action I've taken. This program is worth so much more than what it is. I had no confidence, no trust in God. Now I know who I am and I'm focused on serving people. His transformation was amazing. He was DUI. He was drinking, doing a lot of other things, and he came from family with a lot of money, so they had a lot of things going on, but deep down he was so far from God. No purpose, no confidence, and he was just existing like everybody else. We got Michael here that he said, I took a chance on me by joining this program. I was very depressed, no idea where my life was going. I had a lot of doubts, sleeping through life, and I did not know what to do. Now, I know I made the right decision, and I know my purpose, and I have a better relationship with God, and he has answered so many of my questions. This dude was a manager, and I remember when we jumped on a call, and he told me, Ben, I've been sleeping for 40 years. You know, making money and making all these things, but I have no meaningful relationships. I know that in my life I'm not impacting anybody, and I feel so human. And I know I'm destined for more because I have a lot of things to share. I've struggled and gone through a lot of pain in my life, and I know I can use that to inspire and help other people with it. There's another one right here. His name is Derek. He said, I was lacking so much purpose, drive, initiative, low confidence, and I was super fat. And the only thing going on for me was making money. I gained true friends with this program. I have meaning in my life. I became way more confident. I know why I'm here and why God created me. And I know that, and I know what truly matters. And I think it comes down to that. I remember I met this guy. He was poor. He was fat, he was lazy, he was far from God, he was just making money, and that was it. I think at the time he was making like $500,000 a year. And it's awesome because when he started working on the program that I'll tell you guys and the principles of it so you can see what it is, his team made more money, had better culture, had better relationships, better connections. He became a better leader, a better example, and everything and everybody around him changed because he changed. He realized that he was created to do more than just selling, more than just selling a product and making money. That he had a story, he had gifts, he had talents and skills that God blessed him with that were so unique that he was not using them before. And I truly believe that's what life is all about. What's your priorities? What actually matters in life? The other thing that the other person I shared with you guys, his name is Grace, and he said, this program has so many benefits in my life, mainly by improving my relationship with God, by connecting with Him and remembering my purpose. With this program, I had a friend, accountability to get better, and because now I understand my purpose, I have more guidance in my life. He was a manager of a restaurant, same thing. And this dude knew, it was so funny, I love this guy. This dude knew deep down that he had a message to share when it came to his faith, and he was not doing it online. He was doing it a little bit, so we did a whole blueprint on how he can scale that so he can actually start impacting more people's lives because he has such a way of explaining and preaching the gospel. It was insane. And he understood that his job of what he was doing right now is just a financial vehicle, but he was not the end. And I think a lot of people, they make the means, they make the end. You know, you got to remember you have a vehicle, that's your means to your end, but they, a lot of the times they make that their main thing, which is not what you're supposed to be. And we'll talk about it later too. Anyway, we got here David. He said, being in the 20-year program was like lifting a veil that was over my eyes. It was not a magic formula or some sort of speech that Ben says to get you motivated. The blessings and opportunities that have visited itself cannot be a coincidence. Upon going inward, reading my Bible and praying to God as someone who has abused substance in the past, I was feeling lost with my extra time. What is my purpose? What am I doing here? Who am I? Some of these answers were given to me immediately. And with this program and the help of Ben, I've been able to curate a daily regimen that gives me validation instead of using outside stimulus. My journey isn't for perfection. It is to be great and to improve and to learn. Constantly pushing, even on the days I don't want to. If I keep my foundation and I have the right tools to improve and to give back, now I have them. This dude, he has such a gift for art and expressing himself. And he has such a powerful story that he was able to use his passion and his gifts and his talents, mix it with his message to inspire people, make a business out of it. So it was awesome to see it. We got here, Alex, he was a manager in sales, same thing. This has been one of the best investments I've made, and I've spent so much money on other programs. This is top number 2. I used to waste a lot of time before I was making good money, bad lacking purpose. I've developed true friendships, and the level of accountability is insane. I truly recommend it. These do the same thing. Look, I've seen it all the time, is people that are winning in paper from the outside, but when I get them behind closed doors, we sit one-on-one and we ask, are you fulfilled? You know your purpose. Why are you here? What are you doing to impact people's lives? The answer is always, I don't know and I'm not doing it. But from the outside, they're doing great. But deep down, they know. All of them, and maybe you guys can relate. Deep down, they know. There's so much left in the tank that they could do. But they just need a wake-up call. They just need a blueprint and guidance and the accountability to step into that leader that is waiting and calling you guys to come out. I remember Hunter, same thing. He said, I have more clarity in what to do with my life. I'm chasing and building the life I want. And since applying the principles from the last session, my business doubled in revenue last month. Why? Because the better leader you are, the more purpose and vision you have, the more energy, conviction, and the more aligned you are, everything in your life will increase. Your fitness, your finances, your relationship, your culture, your energy is going to change so much that people will want to follow you, not just listen and obey, but actually follow you. We got another one right here. He said, just want to shout out Ben for helping me find my way and purpose in life, especially for putting God back into my life. This has changed so much in my life, from dark to seeing the light in every moment and focusing on the greater outcomes in the future. And I know I'll have everything I want since God has my back and the road I'm on to get those things on stage. And then Steve said, I learned my purpose, how to structure my life, and learn to be dedicated even when not motivated. Because of knowing my purpose, I can structure my life toward fulfilling that. Now I know what I need to succeed, not for me, but for those that can benefit from me fulfilling that purpose. That's the coolest thing, that a lot of these people that come to us, they realize that, hey, I'm not here for myself. Do I get the benefit from money, helping people, freaking the blessings, all these different stuff, influence 100%. But the main thing of why God created you is because you have something to share with the world, and is for people. And we're going to talk about that later, but I really want you guys to grasp that idea that you're not here for you. You're here because you're called to serve someone, the person you once were. And you have a message, you have a story, you have experiences, a perspective that are so unique to you. Same thing as these people are describing. We have here Stephen that says, here's what changed because of Ben. I know who I am. I logically always knew I was a child of God. However, I didn't even feel it. I learned how personal revelation is the most important source of truth that can drive me for the rest of my life. I have more hope and excitement for the future. I don't feel like a bystander in this world, but someone who can help and make a difference. I gain perspective on how I can achieve my goal and purpose by using vehicles and messages in order to help people through what God has given me. I feel closer to God because of the work I put in and the trajectory I'm on. And I think this is the last one. But anyway, no, dude, guys, we can be talking about this stuff like for freaking hours of transformations and people that we have helped. The main thing that I want to teach you guys today is how you guys can do that too, and what we do inside the 20U protocol. But that's something, all these people, what they have in common is success in paper, but they're dying inside. One of my really good friends, this dude is like worth like 9 to 100 million. We're very, very close. And I remember we did a couple businesses together and stuff. And I always ask, why did he keep me around? He's way more successful financially than I am, and older too, but I really appreciate his friendship. And I remember one time we're talking, we're playing pool, and he was just telling me, like, Ben, I have no purpose in my life. I hate my job. I just want to sell everything and get out of it. It's so mundane and worldly, and I just do it just for the money. And it's crazy because this guy has such a powerful story, such a unique skills and talents and he's gone through a lot. And we did a public speaking together that we organized an event. We had like thousands of people come, and this dude is talking about his story, preaching and being a leader. And I remember right after that event, we're just talking, and he was just, I could see so much fire and light in his eyes. And I told him, dude, this is why you're here. Everything that you have with your business and the money and the real estate and all the stuff that you do before in your day-to-day is your financial vehicle and your means, so you can funnel all that resources to your main thing that is your passion and your message and what you've been doing right now in these events and what you've been doing helping people and stuff, because he has talents for it. And it really inspired me also to start this, because I realized there's a lot of people that find themselves in that scenario. I found myself in that scenario, that we get caught up in the world and the mundane, and we forget what actually matters. And I do believe that's one of the ways the adversary, the devil, gets most of you guys and all of us. He's not going to get you to do bad things, but he'll definitely get you to slow down, waste time, get distracted, and forget who you are and why you're here. So number one is part of the 20U protocol. This is what we teach inside our community. I call it the triangle, because we start with the end in mind. We need to have vision. In the Bible, it says, if you have no vision, you will perish. So we start with the end in mind, which is what? There's a reason why you're here. Right now it's 2025. Maybe when you guys see this video, it's going to be 2026 or whatever, but it's 2025 right now. There's a reason why you're here. And we're going to start with that, because that's the most important thing you can know. Why were you created? Second thing is your identity. Who are you? Because I'm here to tell you that your life did not start the day you were born. You were somebody before, with talent, skills, personality, character, different gifts that God gave you that were so unique. And that's why he sent you on this specific period of the earth. Now, you don't remember, because it would have been so easy for you to remember and do everything that you were supposed to do. But those two principles of who you are and why are you here, the who you are will give you extreme confidence, because confidence is not like keeping promises, all these stuff, definitions. It's literally knowing and understanding who you truly are spiritually. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience. And a lot of you guys are doing physical things every single day because you think you're just a physical being, which you're not. So we're going to tap in your spirituality. Who are you? Understand what God sees in you, facts about yourself, evidence about yourself, so you can truly understand your true identity. Second, your purpose. And I teach you all this stuff and how to do it, but you need to understand those two things. Start with the end in mind. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plan your whole life so you can fulfill the purpose of your creation and live a fulfilled, exciting, passionate, meaningful, and impactful life. And a lot of what you're going to discover during this process is that you're going to understand that you're a leader. And you're not leading right now. And that's where we're going to do a lot of changes. And the other thing of why it says warning down here is because I mentioned in the beginning a couple minutes ago that the devil knows who you are, and he's not going to get you to do bad things, but he'll get you to slow down. And I want you to get urgent, because we are in a spiritual war between good and evil. And he's winning, because we do not have strong, impactful, influential, and powerful leaders right now. And we're going to help you so you can become one. You're called and you're chosen. And this will give you the blueprint and the exact steps in the next 90 days for you to become that and be part of this battle that we're in, because you're needed. And a lot of people will benefit from your existence, from your purpose, from your influence, from your words, from your everything that you're going to be able to share with them. Now, the second principle that we talked during this is the how. Now that we have the what, the identity, the purpose, and all these different things, the end in mind, we got to figure it out and live a life with alignment. Now, this is what we talk about: three principles: your passion, your financial vehicle, and your message. Your passion. There's gifts, talents, and skills that God gave you that are unique to you. We got to figure out those things that you're great at. Now, a lot of you guys, you already have the financial vehicle. That's the thing making you the money. You're either a business owner, or you're extremely successful in your business, or whoever business you work with, you work for. But that's not the end goal. That's just your vehicle. And we should funnel those resources to the main thing, which is, remember this: God is a creator and you're his son and daughter. What does that say about you? You're here to create too. So we're going to start creating those things. We're going to figure out your passion, your skills. What are you good at? What are the three things that you need to do in the long run that you love to do? Because I'm always going to encourage guys, do the thing that you love to do. You already have the money coming in. Why not spending doing something that funnel those things and create something that you're really passionate about? And then the third thing on this is going to be your message. And when you put your passion and your message together, boom, that's jackpot right there. You cannot spell the word message without saying mess first. What do I say that? Because you have experiences in your life that maybe you feel ashamed of, disqualified, and maybe that's why you haven't stepped into your leadership role, because of these things you've gone through in your life. But you got to understand that your mess is your message. How can you gonna help somebody if you cannot relate to them? God gave you certain experiences and people and the way you were raised and your environment and your country and your city and the pains you've gone through and everything for you to relate and understand in the flesh how to get out of there and help other people overcome the same thing. And it's a personal mission to you. We're going to help you craft your message that is going to give your passion meaning. There's this guy, his name was Andre Agassi. I talk about his story a lot. He's a tennis player. Back in the 1900s, this dude was kicking everyone's butt in his 20s. He reached number one, very talented and skillful for tennis. He reached number one. They did an interview with him, and he said, I hate this. I never wanted to be number one, whatever. This is other people's dream. Long story short, they found meth, drugs. He dropped the rank, and he was like 131st or 131, something like that. And then they did an interview with him and how depressed and just down he was in himself. A couple of years later, he started a charter school. Why? Because he came from a dysfunctional family. And he found something that was personal for him, which was kids. And then this is where the idea came in his mind. He said, I'm very good at tennis. I'm talented, I'm skillful, I have the gifts for it, I'm pretty good. In my message, I love to help kids. What if I can blend these two things together? He went back to play tennis and he became the number one guy again a couple of years from that. And in fact, he's the oldest guy to be ranked number one. You can look it up, Google it if you don't believe me. But that's where we're going to mix your passion and your message together. That's your purpose right there. The third principle that we talk about is once we have those things figured out, now we're going to do everything on a daily basis aligned to our purpose and our identity. So I want you guys to know why you do what you do. I want you to remember that wasting time is a sin. And finding your purpose and your identity, that's the easy part, guys. The hard part is going to be reminding yourself every day and living with focus every single day of those things that you need to do. Since the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And there's 4 areas that you have: financially, physically, spiritually, and mentally. And if you want to add a fifth one, is relationships. We need to move the plates on each area every single day. I want you guys to have your selfish time, because you're going to understand that part of your purpose is for people. Therefore, we need to recharge our spiritual batteries and have that selfish time so we can be selfless. You got to raise your standards in your personal life, in your fitness, in your relationship with God, and everything, so you can serve and be effective leader. But you're here for other people. But you need to become better. We plan all these things very, very well every single day, so you know what you're doing. We have different systems that we use for that. And then the fourth thing that we have when it comes to the 20 protocol is the law of attraction. Why? Because once you understand that, okay, we have your purpose, your mission, your passion, your structure, everything, you're going to understand that God is a creator. You are a creator too. Therefore, you're here to create. And there's different laws that God has created in our lives and the universe and the world for us to live by. And a lot of people teach you this like hocus pocus. I teach it based on a faith basis because that's how I learned from my mentor. And I teach you how science works and all these different things, and how in reality you attract everything into your life, the good and the bad. You invite everything. You are the common denominator in everything that happens to you. And a lot of the times we blame and we play the victim about what happened to us. It was our partner's fault, our spouse's fault, friend's fault, children, boss, or whatever, people around us. But you need to understand that you are the common denominator and that you attract everything and you invite everything. And I'm going to help you so you can control those things, so you can truly create a life by design that's aligned to your purpose and not just selfish reasons of why you're creating these things. And then the last things that we do is, you guys know Hunter. If you came from our website, you can read part of his story there. But also something that we do, we have that spiritual part that we work with inside out. Same thing as building a house. How do you build a house? You start with foundation. A lot of you guys have a pretty bad foundation, and you are in the situation you're in right now because you started not with the foundation, but you started with the door, the roofs, and all these different things. And then wind comes, the storms, and then the whole house crumbles and falls. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. Therefore, we got to start spiritually and mental. And then once we do that, we have that strong foundation. We get in the discipline, fitness part of it. And this is where Hunter takes along. And we're doing this, both of us, every single week with you guys. But where we work on your fitness, custom meal plans, custom workouts, 24 hours and accountability to him as well. Weekly check-ins where you can realistically in the next 90 days lose about 15 to 25 to 30 pounds. And get in the best shape spiritually you can be, and then in the best shape physically you can be at, because people look up to you and you're going to become a leader. Therefore, your presentation and your body matters, and we're going to work on it as well. We're going to start internally, and then we're going to translate that in the external things. Let me stop sharing real quick so you guys can see my full story. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much the 20 protocol. It's a 90-day transformation that you guys work with Hunter and myself for people that they feel stuck, they have no meaning, no purpose. Everybody around them, they think they're successful and winning, but deep down you know that there are way more than you can do, and there's a lot left in the tank that you're not giving. And we're going to teach you the exact same thing so you can truly live a fulfilled life, so you become the leader God created you to be, so you can get in the best shape of your life and you start living a meaningful, impactful, and fulfilling life. And I promise you that it can actually take 90 days, because I've seen it. In the next 3 months, you could be living a completely different life. Now, I understand that this is not for everybody, because a lot of people, they cannot walk the talk. They can actually do the things that we tell them to do. A lot of people don't take ownership. They don't want to stretch themselves. They don't want to change. They don't want to be uncomfortable. I understand that. But this is for those that are willing to change it, that are ready, that don't know the how. And you just need the blueprint, the guidelines, the accountability on how to do it. I've seen this in hundreds of people's lives. And the transformations are the most beautiful thing in the world. I've seen it in my personal life. I've seen it in Hunter's life. We're not telling you to do something we're not doing. But the world that we live around is pretty messed up. And we need strong leaders showing others what's possible. We need people that are so aligned with God that are showing others what's possible. We need other people that become selfless and that they have such high standards in their life, spiritually, mentally, financially, physically, that other people want to follow them. And I want to speak to you directly because this is your wake-up call to step into that leadership and become that person, because the world needs you. We need you. There's a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, a lot of struggle out there, and you have something to give. I know, if you're watching this video, I know you do. I know you do. Because mostly most of the times the people that come work with us, they feel called to do so. It's not just like, oh yeah, let's try to sell it. Like I'm not here to sell you guys. I'm just trying to be real and raw with you that you're needed. You have a huge, tremendous purpose in your life, and let this be your wake-up call. If this related to you, if you feel something while I was talking in this like 20 minutes that I did, there's a link down below so you guys can schedule a call. You will be personally talking to me and Hunter, and we can have a breakthrough session to see where you guys at, what's going on, and where you guys want to be, and what it actually takes. There's a couple questions that you guys need to answer before the call. It's like a 5 to 7 questions, and just so we can see if we align, so we don't waste your time and you don't waste our time. But if this is something that you guys were able to relate, schedule a call down below, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care.